Alright, Brakte Yahweh, Brakte Yahushai, Brakte Yahweh, Brakte Yahushai, Brakte Yahweh, Brakte Yahweh Bashim, Kakadash. Hey, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, which you well. Salutations to the whole elect out there, man. You Akim Testadakim that do this thing and you have more truth and sincerity. I appreciate the month, all right? And this week's topic, all right, we're going to speak on hell, disproving hell. And I got inspired for the show because I had a dream. I was actually falling in so-called hell, brother. The fire's all around me and all that shit, right? But guess what was with me, brother? I'm down there falling like, this is all some bullshit. Then I see the Apostle Elder Tahar down there with me. You know what the Apostle Elder Tahar said? Apostle Elder Tahar said, he said, let's say there was a so-called hell. I'll still be saying, look, man, the scriptures. Yeah. So when I woke up, I went to the job and I saw you did a show on hell. And it came back to my mind that the scripture, read the scripture, this is what came to my mind.
This is Galatians chapter 1 verse 8. But though we or an angel from heaven preach any other gospel unto you.
Any other gospel. So that was an angel on the left-hand side trying to fuck with my mind. But the apostle was telling me in the dream, even if that happens, I'm still going to stick to what I know. And the fact that he did a show on vocab talking about hell, I said the Spirit got to make me do something, put together something on this hell thing, man. Go ahead, brother.
Preach any other gospel unto you than that which we have preached unto you. Let him be accursed.
Yeah, so, hey, they could mess with your mind however. All right? They could bring down that false image of Cesare to sway a lot of people. They could give you an illusion of hell with holograms or whatever to fuck with your mind, just to test the integrity of these scriptures. Are you going to believe what you have learned? All right, and we know according to the scriptures, ain't no such thing as no goddamn place where you burn forever, man. The scriptures in the book of Lamentations, the 3rd chapter, the 27th verse, tells you that his mercies are renewed every day. So the Most High is not a power that will burn, something for eternity. He's a merciful power. All right. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the account of the book. We're gonna use Samuel's life, some scriptures to prove that there's no such thing as hell. Go ahead.
This is 1 Samuel chapter 1 verse 11. And she vowed a vow and said, O Yahweh of hosts, if thou wilt indeed look on the affliction of thine handmaid, and remember me, and not forget thine handmaid, but wilt give unto thine handmaid a man-child, then I will give him unto the Lord Yahweh all the days of his life.
So before Samuel was born, his mother, Hannah, promised him to be reserved unto the Lord. Because what? Samuel was a Nazarite, man. So from his birth, before he was even in the womb, this man was ordained to be of the Heavenly Father, man, all right?
And there shall no razor come upon his head.
Right, so he was a Nazarite, man. All right? Go ahead.
1 Samuel chapter 2 verse 11. And Elkanah went to Ramah to his house, and the child did minister unto the Lord Yahweh.
So from a child, Samuel was serving the Heavenly Father. He was promised before the womb. As a little child, he was ministered unto the Heavenly Father. Go ahead.
And the child did minister unto the Lord Yahweh before Eli, the priest.
Exactly. So he was brought up in a priesthood from a young age. Go ahead now.
This is 1 Samuel chapter 3, verse 19. And Samuel grew, and the Lord Yahweh was with him, and did let none of his words fall to the ground.
Yeah, so the Most High is saying, listen, I was with Samuel from the jump, and none of his words fall to the ground. What does that mean? That means none of the stuff that he said was null and void, all right? Everything he said came to pass. Every prophecy he made came to pass. Let's prove that. Go ahead.
Verse 20. And all Israel, from Dan even to Beersheba, knew that Samuel was established to be a prophet of the Lord Yahweh.
Yeah, because none of his words fell to the ground. There's another scripture that proves when somebody says your words fallen, it means that your prophecies being null and void. Let's use that precept.
Joshua chapter 21 verse 45. There failed not aught of any good thing which the Lord Yahweh had spoken unto the house of Israel, all came to pass.
Exactly. So when it says none of his words fell to the ground, all right, that means none of the prophecies that he was saying, all right, were null and void. Everything he said came to pass. That's how we know the Lord's working with him. as the scripture says. So we getting that what? When he was born, he was with the Lord. When he was a child, he was with the Lord. And as a man, all right, the Most High was with this man his entire life so far, right?
1 Samuel chapter 12, verse 1 through 5. Verse 1. And Samuel said unto all Israel, Behold, I have hearkened unto your voice in all that ye said unto me, and have made a king over you. And now, behold, the king walketh before you, and I am old and gray-headed, and behold, my sons are with you, and I have walked before you from my childhood unto this day.
Yeah, so Samuel was amongst the sons and daughters of Israel from his child onto his gray head, man. All right, years. Go ahead.
Behold, here I am, witness against me before the Lord Yahweh, and before his anointed, whose ox have I taken, or whose ass have I taken?
Yeah, have I done anything wicked throughout the congregation?
Or whom have I defrauded? Whom have I oppressed? Or of whose hand have I received any bribe? Or whom have I defrauded? Whom have I oppressed? Or of whose hand have I received any bribe?
Yeah, so he has the whole congregation. He's telling them, look, he's listening to some like fucked up shit, some wicked shit. All right, who have I done wrong, basically, throughout my whole entire life? Go ahead.
Or of whose hand have I received any bribe to bind mine eyes therewith? And I will restore it to you.
Yeah, so Samuel said, listen, man, even if I did something unwillingly, if I double-crossed somebody unwillingly, if I fucked up unbeknownst, my bad, and I restore it onto you. So this man was a stand-up man. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And they said, Thou hast not defrauded us, nor oppressed us, neither hast thou taken aught of any man's hand. Verse 5.
He ain't take no bribes, he ain't do nothing, man. The man served the Lord from his childhood onto his gray head. Go ahead.
Verse 5. And he said unto them, The Lord Yahweh is witness against you, and his anointed is witness this day, that ye have not found aught in my hand. And they answered, He is witness.
Exactly. So prior to being on the earth and being in the earth his whole entire life, Samuel did everything to please the Most High, please his people, and was a righteous leader. Go ahead.
1 Samuel chapter 3, 28, verse 3. And Samuel was dead, and all Israel had lamented him.
Now, he brought out scriptures, pretty much telling all of Samuel's life. Now he's dead, right? He done gave up the spirit. Now, vocab alone, all these Catholics and Christians, you would say that what? Samuel went to heaven. And Samuel did go to heaven. Because he didn't do nothing wrong, right? He didn't do anything to burn it on eternal fire, right? He did everything right. Go ahead.
It reads on to say, And all Israel had lamented him and buried him in Ramah, even in his own city. And Saul had put away those that had familiar spirits and the wizards out of the land.
Yeah, because Samuel told Saul to do, to do the right things, man. One of the right things to do is to get wizards and all this type of witchcraft out of the land, man. And the scripture said that they lamented for Samuel, man. It could have been anywhere from 7 days, all right, because the scripture says 7 days to be mourned, all right, or it could have been 30 days, like we mourned for Moses 30 days. But we lamented for this man, because he was a righteous man. Go ahead.
Verse 4. And the Philistines gathered themselves together and came and pitched in Shunem, and Saul gathered all Israel together, and they pitched in Gilboa. And when Saul saw the host of the Philistines, he was afraid, and his heart greatly trembled. And when Saul inquired of the Lord Yahweh answered him not, neither by dreams, nor by Urim, nor by prophets.
Exactly, because Samuel was on the scene, all right? He wasn't getting any answer from the Urim and the Thummim, all right? And whatever, and he didn't get anything from dreams. Now, it said he inquired of the Lord. When you read the book of Chronicles, it tells you that he didn't inquire of the Lord. Is there a contradiction with the Most High? Hell no. What it's saying is, the fact that Samuel didn't get no answer was his answer. Very similar to what the Lord prayed to the Most High. They didn't get an answer. Well, that's your answer. But this guy, being a fucking demon right now, man. What?
Verse 7. Then said Saul unto his servants, seek me a woman that had a familiar spirit, that I may go to her and inquire of her.
See, so he's being wicked now, man. All right, go ahead.
And his servant said to him, behold, there is a woman that had a familiar spirit at Endor. And Saul disguised himself and put on other raiment, and he went in, 2 men with him, and they came to the woman by night.
Now, there was one particular point where the Most High was with Saul, but guess what? The scripture said that the Spirit also left Saul, man. All right? In the book of 2 Samuel. What does the Most High say? The Most High tells us in the book of Ezekiel that he rather a man that forsakes his wickedness towards the latter end of his life than a man that did righteous his whole life and went to wickedness. We see it here with Saul that he's leaning towards wickedness at the end of the life, so the Most High will be displeased with this thing. Go ahead.
Says, and he said, I pray thee, divine unto me by the familiar spirit, and bring me him up, whom I shall name unto thee. And the woman said unto him, behold, thou knowest what Saul had done, how he had cut off those that have familiar spirits and the wizards out of the land. Wherefore, then layest thou a snare for my life, to cause me to die. And Saul sware to her by the Lord Yahweh, saying,
Wow.
As the Lord Yahweh liveth, there shall no punishment happen to thee for this thing.
That's like swearing to the Most High to protect the faggot. You see how disrespectful that is, man? I wish him be put to death, burned. But this nigga swearing to the Most High that no harm shall befall him, man. So he's in all man. He's in, that's why the scripture says, lean not on your own understanding. All right, he should have resorted back to the scriptures. Go ahead.
Then said the woman, whom shall I bring up unto thee? And he said, bring me up Samuel. And when the woman
saw... That right there proves, all right, that you got these wicked elites on the left-hand side conjuring up different spirits, man, for information, man. All right? Because this practice is not done away with. You got people out there calling up their spirits, man. They tell you that, man. If you want to talk to your mother, pay this much. If you want to talk to your father, this much. Sometimes it be bullshit, all right? Sometimes they run the rackets. But guess what? They also have motherfuckers out there that really practicing. They're really actually talking to spirits that left this earth, man. Which you're not supposed to do, right?
And when the woman saw Samuel, she cried with a loud voice. And the woman spake to Saul, saying, why hast thou deceived me? For thou art Saul. And the king said unto her, be not afraid. For what sawest thou? And the woman said unto Saul, I saw God ascending out of the earth. And he said unto her, what form is he of?
So God's ascending out of the earth, man. All right, so she was able to see the spirits going up, man. Psalms was that Psalm 92. I said, you're a God. So she was able to see the spirits of these Israelites going up, man. All right? Yeah, that shows that there's no place called hell, brother. That's a good point, because the scriptures in the book of Ecclesiastes says the spirit of man goes upward, man. All right, how come she ain't see no hell? If anything, she would have known about it, right? But she not talking about it. She said that she saw the spirits of the heavens going up. All men, good, evil, bad, we all going up to the heavens, man. Because hell is played out here on earth. Heaven and hell is a state of condition that's played out here on earth, man. Go ahead.
And he said unto her, what form is he of? And she said, an old man coming up, and he is covered with a mantle. And Saul perceived that it was Samuel, and he stooped with his face to the ground and bowed himself. And Samuel said to Saul, why hast thou disquieted me to bring me up? And Saul answered, I am sore distressed, for the Philistines make war against me. And Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is departed from me, and answered me no more, neither by prophets nor by dreams. Therefore I have called thee, that thou mayest know unto me what I shall do. Then said Samuel, wherefore then doest thou ask of me, seeing the Lord Yahweh is departed from me?
Yeah, so why you asking me, nigga? You already know that the Most High is not dealing with you. So why the fuck you gonna wake me from my sleep, man? Go ahead.
It's departed from thee and has become thine enemy.
Woo! Wait a minute. The scriptures are straight up telling you that this guy is an enemy of the Heavenly Father.
Yep.
So if Samuel's with the Most High and he's in the heavens, and this guy's an enemy of the Most High, shouldn't the Most High bring his ass down to hell? Let's see what it says, man. Go ahead.
And the Lord Yahweh had done to him as he spake by me. For the Lord Yahweh had rent the kingdom out of thine hand,
So the Most High took the kingdom from Saul's wicked ass. Go ahead.
and given it to thy neighbor, even to David.
Ooh, so the kingdom was given to David, man. All right. It was all set up in the spirit anyways, man. Go ahead.
Because thou obeyest this, not the voice of the Lord Yahweh, nor executed his fierce wrath upon Amalek.
And that was the problem with Saul, man. All right. He's a very disobedient cat. His whole thing is he rather sacrifice than to obey, man. Because he's going this extra mile thinking he's doing the righteous thing, bound to Saul. I'm trying to get you to help my people. No, nigga. Scripture say you're not supposed to be dealing with no goddamn witches, man. Yes,
No, basically, that was an example of a rebellious person. As the brother just said earlier, obedience is better than sacrifice, man. So Saul was being rebellious by not executing the will of Yahweh Yahushai. Therefore, the Lord departed from Saul, and Saul became an enemy unto the Lord Yahweh through the son Yahushai.
Scripture says rebellion is as a sin of witchcraft, man. Go, whatever.
Verse 19. It says, matter of fact 18, a little bit more. Therefore had the Lord Yahweh done this thing unto thee this day. Moreover, the Lord Yahweh will also deliver Israel with thee into the hand of the Philistines, and tomorrow shalt thou and thy sons be with me.
Woo!
Right there.
Hold up, vocab, explain that to me. Samuel prophesied this guy's death, Saul's death, and his sons, okay? And he says, when you die, you're gonna be with me. So wait a minute. If this guy was wicked, an enemy of the Most High, why would he be with a righteous? We don't prove all these scriptures that Samuel was righteous before he was even in the earth, unto his death. So these both characters, one that's wicked, one that was disobedient, and a righteous man of the Most High is gonna be in the same place, man. All right.
They say if you're wicked, you're gonna go to so-called hell. You're gonna burn.
Why did Saul go to hell?
It says,
first of all, you can't burn the spirit. The spirit is a consuming fire, man. All right, you can't burn fire with fire. For you to talk about there's a place where you burn forever, that's not the characteristics of the Most High. Because even in judging these goddamn wicked ass Edomites, the Most High, all right, after a period of time is going to burn their ass up. But the scripture says that there's no end to the people. All right, their spirit is going to get mimicked amongst these other nations. And that's a form of what? Mercy, man. All right? Because the Most High could have put these Edomites in hell forever and ever and ever.
that's right.
But it's going to be a period of time, all right? And then they're going to get put back in us. So we know that the Most High is a merciful power, man. For you to say that you're going to burn forever for all eternity, that's not the characteristics of the Most High.
That's right. It says, the Lord Yahweh also shall deliver the host of Israel into the hand of the Philistines. Then Saul fell straightway all along on the earth, and was so afraid because of the words of Samuel, and there was no strength in him, for he had eaten no bread all the day, nor all the night.
Yeah, so, when you get bad news, you get fucked up, you don't want to eat, man. But, what did the scripture say about Samuel? None of his words fall. All right? So if he say you're going to be with me tomorrow, you're going to be with me tomorrow, man. Imagine that, man. Somebody tell you, listen, you're going to die tomorrow, there's nothing you can do about it. And you're gonna willingly act out, because the scriptures in Proverbs 16:1 tells us that what? The heart and the preparation, that's the manners of the Lord. Right. So Samuel's faith was doomed from the jump. But guess what? Saul's faith was doomed from the jump. But guess what? He was with a righteous man in heaven. All right? Just like every spirit that passes.
Verse 21. And the woman came unto Saul, and saw that he was sore troubled, and said unto him.
That's it on that. You know that scripture in Job where it says that they all return to the same place?
I think it's in the 4th chapter.
Job 4, I think it's Job 4:7. Could be. Job 4:7. It's the last scripture. Wicked cease from trouble. Job 3:17, sir. Yeah. Probably want to read up from 16 or something. 15. So we're going to close out with this scripture right here, proving and linking with what Samuel said. Go ahead.
Job chapter 3, I start at 13. For now should I have laid still and been quiet. I should have slept. Then had I been at rest with kings and counselors of the earth, which built desolate places for themselves.
Job is pretty much talking about dying, all right, and being with kings, counselors. Go ahead.
Or with princes that had gold, who filled their houses with silver. Or as in hidden untimely birth, I had not been as infants which never saw light.
Yeah, so he's just saying that just being dead. He's praying, go ahead.
The point that you wanted, verse 17. There the wicked cease from trouble.
There the wicked cease from trouble. So kings, prophets, all right, the wicked, they all cease from trouble. In the spiritual world, they all go to the same place, man. Heaven. Go ahead.
And there the weary be at rest.
And there the weary be at rest, man. So whenever you die, all right, no matter what you did on this earth, you all go to, your spirit rests in the heavens, okay? And you receive your judgment in the heavens, and it's played out here on earth, man. All right? That's how come certain people, they get up in crazy calamities. And guess what? We got to be in constant fear, because even if we live in so-called sin-free, we got sins on our previous lives, man, that the Most High can judge us for. So you got to be a timid puppy, all right, throughout your whole life, man. All right, but the point being, there's no such thing as no fucking hell doctrine where you burn forever, all right? The word means grave, all right, or state of condition, man. You got to say this up, or?
Yeah, briefly, to add even add on some more proof that hell doesn't exist. There's this book that I have called Christopher Columbus and the Holocaust, and at a certain part of the book, it tells you that hell was something that the church made up to pretty much cause people to pay more money.
Yes, that's true.
And they would say, well, okay, if you pay the priests more money, they're going to pray even harder to get grandma or uncle or auntie out of purgatory into heaven.
Yeah.
So just to add on to that.
That's a good point, brother, because a lot of that hell doctrine stems from what? That Greek mythology, Hades. All right, so they mix Greek mythology, all right, which transition to the Romans. They mix that with the scriptures, man. All right, because you had what? You had in Greek philosophy, you had to put money on the dollars on the eyes because they believe your spirit, was supposed to go to this place where you had to pay to get, wherever you had to pay to get in the afterlife. So they put them coins on their eyes. So that's all bullshit, man. All right, that's all man-made fables. All right.
That also reminds me too. There's this during the time of the Vikings, they believed that if you go to war and you fought, you would go to a place called Valhalla. Some shit with the Valkyrie. They would come down and they would get you, and you would go to Valhalla for fighting and dying on the battlefield.
Yeah, and that's niggas that made all that up too, man.
Yeah.
All right, those Vikings were niggas, man. So-called black people, if you will. Israelites, All right, hey, so with that, you got anything else to say? So with that, we're going to give all praises to Yahweh,
Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Ba'akodash.
Double honors to the apostles and the elders of great Muslim, which you will. And salutations to all the elect of man. Shalom.
Shalom.